What's up everybody, it's your boy. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. On today's video, we're gonna take a tour of Littleton, Colorado and talk about how much you can expect to pay to live there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell to be alerted when I make new videos, as I try to make videos weekly on all there is to know about living in the Denver metro area and exploring all that Colorado has to offer. Now before we get into it, as a quick reminder, my shameless plug, I am a licensed real estate agent out here in the Denver metro area. So if you have any questions about moving here or want a video on a certain topic or spot, feel free to drop a comment below or reach out to my information below and I'll be happy to help you in any way I can. And with that out of the way, let's get into it.
And here we go.
Now let's first figure out where Littleton is in respect to the Denver metro area. So it's in the southwest corner of the metro area. So wherever you are in Littleton, you've usually got good views of the foothills and the peaks behind. And then also you could get some views of downtown depending on the elevation that you are. It's your typical suburban spot. So you've got a lot of single family houses. There's also some townhouses and condo complexes, plenty of shopping centers, restaurants, parks, plenty of activities and recreations to do around the area. Now, as of the time of making this video, Littleton is about 20% or so more expensive than the national average. Most of that is housing. As a lot of you may know, Colorado is a pretty expensive place to live for housing, so that's what's going to drive it up. But that also takes into consideration transportation, healthcare, groceries, utilities, just to name a few others. Now, starting off with housing, because that is the most expensive part about living in Littleton and Colorado in general, you can expect your average single family house to be around $660,000, which is up about $100,000 from 2020. We've seen, much like a lot of the country, crazy appreciation in the last year. But then your median house, single family house in Littleton, Colorado, sits around the $530,000 range, up from $460,000. So while it's not super cheap to live here, there are still some cheaper options, especially if you go towards the townhouse and condo range if you decide to buy something instead of rent. As the average townhouse or condo in Littleton right now running about $440,000, and the median price for a townhouse or condo in Littleton would be about $330,000. Now, as I mentioned, it's obviously not cheap to buy a home here.
Expensive.
Whether it's a single family townhouse or condo. But if you're moving from a place such as New York City, California, Washington State, just to name a few, it is a little bit cheaper than those places. So if you are moving from those areas, you could have a potentially cheaper place and just the same amount of size. Now, not everyone when they move here can or want to purchase something, so that might be better to rent. So you can either, I don't know, save up for the first year that you live here for a down payment, closing costs and other fees associated with buying a place, or if you're just simply feeling out the area to see if one, you like the area, or two, you like Colorado in general, to see if you actually want to stay here and you don't lock yourself into, you know, buying something and potentially having to sell that a year later because you either get relocated or you just don't want to stay here.
I don't want to be out here. I hate camping.
Now, the average cost of an apartment or something to rent will definitely depend on a few factors, such as is it an apartment or is it a house, the location it's at, what amenities are included, just to name a few. But the average for a one bedroom is about $1,200 a month. For a two bedroom, it's about $1,500 a month. And then for a 3-bedroom, it jumps all the way to $2,100 a month. 4 and 5 bedroom, $2,400 and $2,700 a month, I believe. So obviously the more bedrooms, the more expensive, but those are about your averages in Littleton. Now these are both higher than the Colorado and national averages. However, they are slightly low than the Denver averages for rents. Now next, let's move along to transportation. It's about 10% more expensive in Littleton than the national average. A big portion of that is gas. As of the time of making this video, gas prices are floating anywhere between, I believe it was $3.40 to $3.50 a gallon. Of course, you can go to a Costco or something and get a little bit cheaper, but that's about the average if you don't have that membership. And then if you want to do something like the light rail, instead of driving and owning a car, there are 2 light rail stations that go down to Littleton. For a monthly pass, it's about $200, and that'll take you from Littleton downtown to the airport up to Boulder. So the light rail system is pretty good out here. Or if you just want to do a day pass, it's 10 bucks a day just for a one-way fare. So it kind of depends on how often you're using it. Like let's say you're working downtown and instead of driving and paying for parking, you'd rather take the light rail, probably pay the 200 bucks so you're not going down there 3, 4, 5 times a week and paying, 40, 50 bucks a week. Now, next up on the list, we're going to talk about the utilities. In terms of national average, Littleton is a little bit below the national average. I think it's about 6% lower. And again, it's going to depend on many factors: size of your house, if it's a house or if it's a townhouse or condo. Because then let's say you have a house, you'll be paying in the summer months for those sprinklers to be running for your lawn, and water is pretty expensive out here. However, natural gas and electricity, they are a little bit cheaper, and a lot of older homes don't have central air or air conditioning units. So that'll save you on the summer months with your air conditioner or your electricity bill because you're not running an air conditioner.
It's so damn hot.
But you can average about $250 to $300 a month for utilities, and that'll be water, trash, recycle, sewer, electricity, gas, and internet and cable if you like cable. Now finally, I'm just going to briefly touch on taxes. I did cover what the state income tax and a few other taxes are in my cost of living in Denver video, so go ahead and check that one out if you haven't already. But Denver or Colorado as a whole right now has a 4.63% flat income tax rate. So it's not like the federal tax or California tax where you are in different tax brackets, 4.63 across the board no matter how much you make. And then the sales tax is a little bit lower than Denver, sitting at about 7.25% for sales tax versus about 8.8% in the Denver area. So it is a little bit cheaper in terms of sales tax. So that covers mostly what you can expect in terms of cost of living in Littleton, Colorado. Again, a lot of these are averages and it'll depend on the place that you're living in, the area, even the area of Littleton you're living in. So definitely take those things into consideration when you're considering moving out here. If there's any other videos you want me to make or things you want me to discuss, feel free to drop a comment below or reach out to my information below. I'll be happy to make a video or answer any questions you may have. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one.